I'm Swarupa Ananth. I'm a tabla player, a percussionist, a music producer, music educator, and a full-time mom.
Hi, I'm Mohini Dey. I play bass, I produce, I arrange, I compose, and I also have a company on the side that does social media management for a lot of artists. How did you start playing your instrument and who was your teacher?
Like most typical South Indian homes, I think I was about, 6, and I was sent to Carnatic singing classes.
Yeah.
I lasted about, 3 months. And I said, no, I'm not doing this. It's too loud for me. It's too, not my thing. I came back, my mom's like, okay, let's try Hindustani vocal. And luck would have it that there was tabla class happening in the door right next to my vocal class. And my concentration was always there. And this one day, my teacher calls my mom and says, you know what, don't send her to my class anymore. And my mom was like taken aback saying, what happened? Is she not doing well? Is she not practicing? But the teacher was like, no, just put her in the room next door because her attention's there. Maybe she wants to learn the tabla. And I was just so excited when that happened, that switch. And pretty much it was, it was a go from there. And
Wow.
I started at this local institute in Dadar. I played there for about 2 years. And a friend of my mom found out that Ustad Allah Rakha, as we fondly call him, Abbaji.
Yeah.
Abbaji is running a class in Shivaji Park. Mm-hmm. And she said, take your daughter and go. You never know.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I was I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 10 when I went there. And they had their set of rules. So, we don't take kids below the age of 12. We don't take kids who've not learned for 5 years. Yeah. I didn't fulfill either of those categories. So I was like, okay, I'll come back when I'm eligible. But I don't know what my mom had, that moment where she said, Abbaji is here. I've just got my kid, let her play just like 2 minutes, take his blessings, and then we'll go and we'll come back after 3 years. And I played, and I get goosebumps even thinking of it, because he was like, I don't want to hear anything, just come for class tomorrow. And that's how it began. And I'm like, okay, I'm so grateful for all of those things to have come together.
Yeah.
And
did you always know that you wanted to pursue music as your career?
Not really. So music's been in the family.
Yeah.
My mom's a singer. My grandmom is a singer-composer. It didn't even strike me that music can be a career. Up until I was in college, and then, there was this youth festival and the college festivals, and then you realize that, okay, I can be a musician.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I never wanted to be a musician.
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
Never. Yeah, I always wanted to be a fashion designer.
Wow.
I was cutting up my mom's saris and my dad's clothes, and I would walk on the streets wearing my handmade outfits.
I think that is very cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was always a really artsy-fartsy kid. I was always playing with color and anything related art. I loved painting walls. My dad had dreams. My dad wanted to have 2 kids, and he knew that both my kids are going to pursue music as their career, because that's all he knew. He picked up bass pretty late in his life, and he had a brother that played drums in this really famous band called Karma in Kolkata. And he started playing bass in that band, and then he fell in love with my mom. And then, back in those days, falling in love was such a taboo. And so he made sure that my sister and I, got the best education. They struggled so they could feed us, and we would never have to ask for anything from anyone. He made sure that we were independent as hell, And a lot of people said, why are you teaching your girls such a masculine instrument like bass? I started learning to play the bass when I was only 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, it was this huge bass that my dad used to play for his gigs and studio sessions. I would hold his hand and go to all the studios and go to all the, beautiful venues that he was performing in. I met so many people. Finally, one time he was like, why don't you record half the song with me?
Wow.
It was for Kailash Mehta. I still remember the guy's name. And it was a bhajan thing for Hanuman Chalisa. It was when I was 9 years old, and he took me to the studio like always. And after school hours, I would go to Nirvana studio to record and to jam with Ranjit Barrett. And he was obviously a big father figure in my life. I met him at the age of 11, and he took me under his wings. I literally had like a master class just sitting there watching him play with so many renowned international artists like Dominic De Piazza, Jonas Elborg, and then he started including me in his band. But even then, I didn't know I wanted to do music as like my career thing, because I was still so dedicated to fashion. And here's the funny story. Like every time I would be at home and watching like fashion shows, my dad would look at me and he would bring my bass and put it in my hands while I'm watching the fashion show because he wanted to make sure that like I'm not missing out on time and I'm still like focused, because he really wanted to. He was determined. I became really rebellious and I wanted to move out. Like I moved out at 17 because I wanted to have control and lead my own life. And I did that. I played with literally everybody here, starting from like Ranjit Uncle, Louis Banks, Niladri Kumar, Zakir ji, of course, Selva Ganesh, and you name all the Bollywood singers and music directors, Salim Sulaiman, Vishal-Shekhar, Arijit Singh. Like I was in the house band for MTV Unplugged where, we met.
Did that together.
We
Exactly.
met there. And like, it's so crazy having to like go back. And I remember that. And I will always remember that. And I'll cherish that for the rest of my life. Because without that, I would have never been recognized outside. Having played with AR Rahman for 8.5 years, that got me not only national recognition, but also international recognition. And I wanted to squeeze that opportunity. And I think a lot of people know this, but like after 12th board exams, which was, I was trying to balance both my academics and my touring life at that time because I was already working. I was like, okay, what's my goal? I need to get the hell out of my parents' place.
That is a tough pick.
Yeah, and fashion was always my thing. But then I thought to myself, I have to give it a true shot. I chose to be in AR's band, and that kind of opened a lot of doors.
Yeah, I think that's... we're all thankful for that decision somewhere, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
We got to see this awesome side of Mohini. Yeah.
Thank you. And it means a lot, having done all of that and seeing musicians like you making waves in the Indian music industry, because I know it's hard. We still don't have enough female musicians.
We don't.
Last night I was playing in Delhi and I had 6 female bass players. And that was like, wow. That was like, it made me so happy. I almost had a tear in my eye. I was like, okay, things are happening.
That is
we are advancing.
No, we are.
India
absolutely.
is becoming more progressive.
Like you would know also, right? We've been in this field of such a male-dominated instrument, whether it's the bass or whether it's percussions. And, you're always working with the guys around and I'm like constantly looking for, okay, where are those other female percussionists? So, where are the other female tabla players? And then very recently I started a project. It's called Women Who Drum. Just 2 days ago, we did like a virtual meet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I found my community. There are women playing this instrument and we just need to get together. We just need to know each other.
Okay, should we do the next question?
Let's go to the next one. Okay. What are some of the challenges that come with playing your instrument that people don't know about?
Challenges, I don't know. I think initially when I was a kid, the challenge was to kind of find my personality because I was such an introverted soul as a kid growing up and always being in that controlled environment. But I'm grateful because, like you said, sometimes there can be situations in any field, not just music field, where you have to protect yourself and your personality and your energy really makes a difference.
Of course.
So when I walk into the room, when I'm doing a project or meeting somebody new and we're about to collaborate, they know, do not mess with this. Yeah, I give that energy. I'm very intimidating and it's good.
It's good.
Because I'm not trying to,
it's good.
I'm just here for work. And I think I wouldn't say any challenge, but initially that was like trying to find like, who am I? Like, okay, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, like so many different things. I'm such an introverted soul, but now I talk a lot. So I'm not an introverted soul anymore, but I have my moments where I go between different emotions because of the, experiences that I've had over the years. And I turn them into albums.
Perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I just turn them into albums. Yeah.
Music's always...
that's all I know. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Should be.
Okay, let's do the next question. Besides your instrument, what's an essential piece of gear you can't live without?
So the thing is, being a percussionist, you have so much gear to carry that you don't want to carry anything extra because you already have so much.
It's a lot to set up already.
It's a lot to set up, right? And actually, there's one thing I do have, which is the small dabba in which I have the powder for my tabla. Like I've refilled that powder, I don't know how many times, but I've never decided to throw it away and get a new box for whatever reason.
That's awesome.
And it's literally a Johnson's Baby
That's called dedication. Like
So I think that's been with me for, let's say, 15 plus years.
Wow.
Easily.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we have. There are more jokes about drummers and bassists than there are about singers and guitarists.
Really?
What do you think that is?
Why do you think
that is?
I think we're more exciting. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. I think we are cooler.
Yeah.
We're just way too much.
Yeah. I mean, we have some
cool.
pizzazz and we have some swag. I mean, not saying singers don't have that, but like you said, like we need more recognition overall, worldwide, when it comes to instrumentalists in general.
I agree.
Regardless of gender.
Absolutely. I agree.
Because we are behind the scenes,
Always.
know. I've played in over probably like 200 movies. Half of them I don't even know. Like sometimes I'll be watching movies and like background.
That's my take.
I'm like, wait, is that me? And I actually vlog it like when something like that happens to me. This happened like a few months ago. And I was just sitting at home and I was watching this movie Mom with Sridevi in it, right? And I'm like, wait, that sounds like my vocabulary.
When did that happen?
Yeah, when did that happen? I'm like, but I'm contradicting myself. I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not me. I'm like, wait, but that's my lick. That's my lick. Like, I do that. And then I looked it up and I'm like, that is me.
Nice.
And then I realized, wow, it was one time, it was like at 4 a.m. in the morning, AR had called me to his like Powai studio. And it was right after my gig. And he's like, Mo, are you free? I'm like, yeah, I'm free. Literally in my club outfit, I went to his studio and he was recording me there. So I had that memory. I was like, wow. That's interesting. The things we do and then don't remember.
It's funny. I had the exact same incident where I listened to a tabla. It was an Adesh Srivastav song many years back. And I'm like, okay, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
This sounds me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, the thing is also, I wasn't told that it was for that song or it's going to come out in this movie. Sometimes I used to have this feeling of I'm getting a chance, so maybe I should just go in, do what you're supposed to do, go out, no questions asked, that kind of a situation.
But coming back to the question, I feel like we have awards for singers, like female playback singer, male playback singer. Every year it happens. We have GMA, we have Filmfare, and name it, like so many. But we don't. We have it for sound engineers too, but we don't have it for instrumentalists. Look at it this way: there are older people that have given so much of their lives to just movies, but they are not known.
No.
Only we know them because obviously we work with them closely. Why aren't they awarded? Where is that recognition?